here with part 3 and in the final part video of how to effectively handle interruptions in the workplace and how to effectively interrupt in the workplace as a healthcare professional when you are speaking to your patients. Now, I am aware that it has been a long time since I have done a video. Had a lot going on. I was a little bit unwell as well. So I'm on the road to recovery now, and I thought we should finish off wrapping up what we have covered about interruptions through our past videos, and also segue into what I'll be doing with my videos moving forward. So up until now, if you want to check out the last 2 videos I've linked up over here, we've looked at why are interruptions considered a negative thing and why sometimes it's necessary, and also what are some things that you shouldn't be doing when you're trying to interrupt somebody in a healthcare setting or in a workplace when you're speaking to a patient or when you're speaking to a colleague. Now we're looking at the positive spin of this. We're going to learn about what we should do as a positive thing in order to interrupt effectively when we have to say something, get something off our chest, contribute something to a discussion or to an interaction where you have to speak your mind. And that's what we're going to learn about in this video, how to effectively do that so that it's respectful, not offensive to anybody, as well as you really stand out by what you say. Make sure that there's credibility in what you say. So let's get started. So the number one thing I would say is when you have to interrupt somebody who's talking when you're in a setting where there's interaction, you have to speak to somebody and you're speaking to your patients, or in a group setting where there is a work meeting of some sort, what you do is you wait for people to finish speaking in the group. So wait for people to say what they have to say and wait till there is a little bit of a pause. That's number one. Number 2, I would say, is there is no hesitation in doing this. So putting your hand up and just to introduce or plant the seed into people's heads that you are wanting to say something and speak your mind. Now, we learned this in our school days when our teachers taught us that when you put your hand up, that's what you're supposed to do when you have to say something. And as I've said in my previous videos, these lessons should not change just because you're out of school and you're into adulthood now. So things like being effective and respectful in our communication is something that comes in handy through all walks of our life, not just in our childhood. So putting your hand up and speaking to somebody, or segueing into the fact that you have to say something in an interaction setting can be also a very good way to signal to people that you are wanting to interrupt the conversation that you're having or they're witnessing. Number 2. Now, number 3, a big one, is the correct phrases and the correct language to use when you have to interrupt someone who's having a conversation with others or with yourself. So some of the phrases that you can use in a more constructive manner would be things like, can I just say something? That's number 1. And also another one would be, I had something in mind that I'd like to share, or I wanted to say something. Can I just jump in here and make a contribution? Can I ask a question? So that's also a way that you can interrupt someone when you have a question. I had a question, can I ask a question? These are also very good ways in which you can actually showcase and demonstrate interruption once you've done the putting your hand up, obviously. So that's number 3. And the final thing is always, it's a very nice thing always to apologize. So when you have to interrupt somebody and you put your hand up, you can say, sorry to interrupt, or apologies for butting in. Now, even though the opportunity may be there for you to interrupt, it's always a good thing to put your hand up and say, sorry to interrupt, or apologies for the interruptions, just so that you're being a little bit more polite and respectful in general. And also a very important thing, it's a number 5 point that I just thought of, is be aware of the cues that are there in the setting where you have to interrupt, or you're listening to a conversation, you're having a conversation. So in many instances, especially if you're having a presentation or a meeting of some sort, you are given the permission in the very end to ask any questions, or in certain situations you may be the person who's running the meeting or the presentation may tell you, if at any point you have any questions, just put your hand up, and you can do that as well. So just be aware of what is expected of you as an audience, or even during an interaction with the patient that you have one-on-one. Just finish to what they're saying, unless you absolutely have to, and interject over there and say, can I just say something, or I'm sorry to interrupt, I just have to say something over here. That way, but obviously it's very important that you actually let them finish and wait for that very big pause or a little pause for you to actually chime in and say what you have to say. So those are the 5 key points on how to interrupt effectively and in a positive manner and in a respectful manner in order to get your point across and communicate during a meeting or a one-to-one scenario with the patient. Now, moving forward, because now I have the advantage of leveraging my videos via YouTube, I'm not going to do the part 1, 2, 3 that I used to in my past videos. So moving forward, every week now, you're going to have a long video where I'm going to cover, pick one topic on communication in the healthcare setting and cover it in totality instead of having to come back 2 or 3 times and chopping it up. I think a very good way is, now that I can do long form videos, I will be doing videos that are much longer where I'll cover all aspects of one communication part in the healthcare space when we're speaking to our patients or our colleagues in the healthcare setting. So just to remind you, my name is Shweta. I'm the founder of Healthy Dynamics. We are a coaching practice and we help healthcare professionals from non-English speaking countries improve their English speaking and communication skills in order to achieve professional excellence and build better relationships with their patients and colleagues. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing and leave it a like and a positive comment or any kind of comment. I'd love to get your feedback. And make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you know when the next video will be available, as well as a notification bell that sort of alerts you when I'll be uploading the next video. So hope you enjoyed this. Please share it with your friends, family, network, anyone who might be finding this a beneficial piece of video. And I will see you in next week's video. Thank you.